Oh man, this is nice. Hello Drone Racers, I'm Mark, and today on Drone Racer 101 we're going to take a look at this. The LDARC ET100. Wait, something's not right. Actually, this is last year's ET100. Today we're going to look at this one, the new V2 ET100. This one was one of my absolute favorite indoor drones. I called it my favorite tiny whoop, even though it's not technically a tiny whoop. It fit that class for me flying around and did way better and was just awesome. I did a whole bunch of upgrade videos on that to make it even better, all of which I hope are incorporated in this model. Do we have on-screen display? Do we have flip over after crash? Do we have awesomeness of the same frame? Well, let's take a look. So inside the box, we actually have a number of canopies now. So we have the original canopy. It actually comes with the same one as the ET100, which was okay, but wasn't super cool like the new ones. I mean, look at that. That's awesome. And you can get it in red and gray, kind of a charcoal. I kind of like that too. I'm probably going to end up with one of these on here. Actually, what I'll do is I'm sure I'll end up with, there's also an ET100, an ET115, an ET125, same as before. I'm sure eventually I'll end up with all three of them, and I can make each one of them a different color, and that'll be really nice to be able to tell the difference. Inside we have several sets of instructions we'll take a look at here. We have a battery. This is a 2S450. I have a bunch of those, so that'll be nice. Extra props, white props, yellow props, extra rubber bands that I don't plan on putting on here because, man, that would be a total pain if you ever had to do that. And even some stickers. My stickers are stuck to the box. There we go. I guess you could customize your model. That's kind of cool. So like I mentioned, we have three models, and what is the difference? Well, the biggest is the size. We have 100 millimeters, 115 millimeters, and 125 millimeters. But besides that, we have different motors. We have 1103 7800 kV, 1104 5500 kV, and 1104 7500 kV. And you may have noticed the kV on the 15 is a lot smaller, and that's why they call it the 3S. That actually comes with a 3S battery also. I'm curious to see how much of a difference that makes. The 15 was interesting. I didn't think I was going to like it, but it ended up being a really good playground flyer last time. But I'm going to be flying inside because it's snowing outside, which means the ET100 is absolutely perfect for me. So within the ET100 line alone, there are 6 different models. You can get it with no receiver. The AC900 is for fast, Futaba fast, or FrSky like we've got here. That's the one I'll be using. The FM800, I believe, is another Futaba protocol. The RX2A, which is for you FlySky flyers, and then a DSM2 for Spectrum. And then there's a kit where if you want to put it together yourself, you can do that. Probably the part you'll need most in the manual here is the frequency for the VTX. Unfortunately, they're still using these color-coded VTX. That I don't really care for. But it is a little better. It'll do 25 or 100 milliwatt, which will get you out there pretty good. There is that VTX, and we've got a button here to change frequencies. Unfortunately, if you want to change the power, you're actually going to have to remove this and flip it over. That's one thing, hopefully in the V3 they improve upon. Look at the model itself. We now have an LED. I don't think the old model did. They have these caps for the props. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know that they're necessary, but you probably won't want to take them off because the screws will then get caught in the motor. Here's one thing above the brushless tiny whoops. These are real brushless motors. These are bigger brushless motors. They are going to last you a lot longer. Yeah, this is bigger than a tiny whoop, but it's still pretty small, and I have no problem flying this inside. And these frames are super strong. I broke the 125, but that was only because I conformal coated that one, flew it in the snow, and smashed it into things. If it gets cold, it'll get more brittle. You could break it, but this thing's really strong. I didn't mention this has a BLLES 12 amp ESC across the board, no matter which model you go with. Also comes with a separate set of instructions for the AC900 to show you. Because this will do either fast or D16 mode, you've got to know which one it's on. It's supposed to ship with D16 mode, but we're going to take a look and prove that, and I'll show you how to do that. One of the big improvements is you can easily get to the USB port, so I really don't even have to take this cover off if I don't want to, and I kind of don't want to. I might have to bind the receiver. There is a button in there, and you can probably see it somewhere. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take it off to get to the bind button for the receiver. You do that with 3 screws on the bottom, same as before, 2 in the corners, and this nice little triangle here. The plastic slides through the carbon fiber frame to hold it in place, so you wanna make sure you get everything lined up before you tighten it down. But first, I'm gonna take the cover off. So I'm not going to take it completely off because there are a lot of wires connected. There is a buzzer up inside of there. Also, the camera is connected here. We can unplug the camera, that wouldn't be any problem, but there should be OSD on this flight board, so then we don't need OSD on the camera like we added last year. So there is the receiver, and there's the button that we're gonna need to get to if you wanna see where that is now. Now, if you look from the top, I could probably reach that, I just wasn't sure where it was. Now, one of the things we wanna look for here is there's gonna be a green or red flash. So let's plug in and see what happens. Okay, we had 2 green flashes and a solid red. Let's look and see what that means. So that's pretty easy. First green flash is FrSky D16, that's what I want. Second blink is failsafe mode 2, I believe that's what I want, we'll see. And then red means no signal because I haven't found it yet. So let's look at failsafe mode 2. After 1 second, loss of transmitter, S-bus, no output. That basically means if it loses signal, it's gonna go into failsafe mode, it's gonna drop all signal, and you can program that in Betaflight. The other option is for it to kill the throttle and then center all the other channels, which is probably fine too, but I'd rather take care of it in Betaflight. If you weren't using Betaflight for some reason, I guess I might think about that, but no, we're gonna do this, which means we're not gonna make any change at all. So I'm not gonna change it to fast mode in this video. If you really wanna know, let me know, and maybe I'll change it and borrow a fast radio, but I don't think there are that many people out there that are gonna be looking for this. I'm going to use my FrSky X-Lite for this to get it set up. I'm not going to go through the setup in this video. I'll link up here in the corner how I set up this radio and go through a whole model setup because I do them all exactly the same. Part of the reason I've been itching to get this indoor model though is I've added the Bluetooth module here, and I need this in order to be able to test it properly and post that video. I also have some other things I've been wanting to try inside. So hopefully this will start off a whole series where we'll be using this over and over and over and over and over. So on mine, I've got a model set up for XMRXs. That's a D16 model without telemetry, which is basically what this AC900 is. So I'm just gonna use that in this case. Before I do that though, I'm gonna take a look at the settings in Betaflight and make sure it's set up the way I want it to be. So we're here in OBS, it looks level, at least appropriately level. The ports should already be set up. UART 3 is their serial RX for the receiver, already wired up and ready to go. Be awesome if they'd add smart audio to this. That would fix all my VTX concerns. D-Shot 600 is fine. I am going to start motor stop up. Accelerometer is enabled. We have 8,000, 2,000. I'm not going to make too many changes to what they've got here. They're actually on Betaflight 317. That's pretty far out of date, but I don't want to make any changes to their setup, at least not until I have a chance to fully try it. We're going to call it the ET100. We're on S-Bus. All the settings here look fine. OSD is enabled there. LDARC usually does a really good job with their PIDs, so I'm not going to mess with anything that they've got here. They've already got the notch filters disabled. I am going to change it to TAER though, because that's how my radio is set up. Modes is usually where I have to do the most work. So I want ARM on switch 1, that's good. Angle horizon, just like I have it on aux 2. It's like they read my settings already. I am going to enable air mode on aux 2. Now, I will probably fly this in angle mode most of the time inside. I fly angle mode inside still. But if I do take it outside, I want horizon and angle mode available. Okay, so we're gonna have a future video on updating this because 317 is not gonna be acceptable. I want flip over after crash. That's one of the big reasons I want to upgrade it. 317, man, that is old. Jeez. Okay, take a look at the OSD. Yeah, I don't want artificial horizon or sidebars, fly time, fly mode, those are all fine. Craft name I want, throw that up here. And the thing I want that's not here because it didn't come until later is average cell voltage. So yeah, we're gonna try it today and then we'll do an update for this. Hey, it'll give me an excuse to make another video because in my opinion, it's going to need it. So I can see being powered by USB is not powering up the receiver, so we're gonna have to use the battery for that. Okay, I've got my radio set up, ready to go to bind. I wonder if I can click this button with my finger. There, I can get it down with my thumb. So I'll hold that down and plug it in. I could use my smoke stopper for this, but then I have to find the adapters. So flashing green, that's good. That's what that's supposed to be. Hit bind, 1 through 8 telemetry off. There we go. Changed red. So exit out of here, back to the main page. There, now we have a green light. So we should be bound. So I'm going to arm it. Arm looks good. We'll switch to horizon mode just to see the motor spin. The motor spin. Angle mode looks good. Oh, I need to enable beeper on my switch. But I think it's flyable. Let's find out. So putting the cover back on is a little bit of a pain because you've got your receiver antenna here. You've got to keep out of the way. And you've got your VTX antenna here that has to go through the hole right up there in the middle. And you've got these LED wires in the middle. I wouldn't take this off very often, probably just to bind it. Otherwise, I'm going to use the easily accessible USB port on the side now. So here's the part that I was talking about. See that line up there? That has to go through that hole. You have to get it lined up just right so it fits in against there smoothly, or else things won't hold in place quite right. And from the bottom, then you should see the frame flush with the body. So one last thing I'm going to do before I fly it is I'm going to check the VTX. So we look at the light there. It's flashing red, blue, red, blue. So we go to our manual, find red, blue. There it is, 5732 megahertz. So let's try that. So I'm using my Sky Zones this time because I love the scanner in them, and I find that as race band 3, which I should probably know that, but I don't. All right, let's see how it flies. This is my first time in the air with it. It'll take a little while to get the feel of it. There's a little bit of noise in the video. Definitely the same camera, I think, as the old one. Whoa. It's got good control though. It's got what feels like really good power. Just really terrible noise in the video. Like atrociously bad noise in the video. Huh. Let's bring it back here and take a look. Oh, there's my green screen from another project, and I'm gonna. Oh, come on. That was my sleeve. So I changed the channel, I pushed the button just one time, and now that seems to be fine. I don't know if it was just a loose battery connection or if there was a problem with that channel. I don't know, but it seems to be fine now. Let's see if it's fine in the other room. Well, I dropped it on the floor, but will probably still work. See if I make it through my wires. That's why I won't flip over after crash mode. But seriously, that's part of the reason I love this thing before is the durability of it. There we go, that's much better. Yeah, that looks really good now. I forgot to turn on some of the lights too. It still seems to be handling it just fine. Now, I'm pretty far out of practice. I'm probably gonna smash into one of my lights. I wanna know if I can do this. Oh! There we go. Behind the scenes, literally. Ooh, yeah. That's not even close to full throttle. Oh man, this is nice. And they fixed all the problems I had. Maybe in my basement, the way my lights are set up, they could still be a little better. And maybe it's shipping with the proper beta flight now anyway, but the control, come on. But I just throw things around. If you want talented, skilled piloting, you should probably watch another video. If you're gonna fly around like this, this probably works. I've still got models in here to review. Ooh, yeah, man, oh yeah. It's an ET100. I mean, I loved the ET100 before. I love it now, and this fixes pretty much everything that I did with it before. Oh, except I'm killing my battery. Thankfully I have more. Turn them around, turn around. But I will come and get another battery and see how they're doing. So if I want to fly slow and controlled, I can. That's not me. And it is beeping at me. We'll try this. Hey, there's my cases that I just reviewed for the Mavic 2. If you didn't see that, click that down below. Nobody watched that video. Okay, with a full battery, let's give it one more shot. Yep, takes a licking, keeps on ticking. Well, I don't want it to tick. I just want it to fly smoothly and consistently. And it will do that without a doubt. Now let's try horizon mode. Yep, horizon mode is good. Ooh, it's the rates seem to be a lot higher on horizon mode. But that's so we can do acrobatics, which I am not going to do in the basement. And then we will give a quick test. Air mode. I just don't have enough space here for air mode. Not the way I like it. Ooh, which is fast. I'm more likely to break something. Oh. Next time on Drone Racer 101, how to upgrade the firmware on the ET100. Well, not next time, but coming soon to ET100, how to upgrade the firmware, because I love this. It is great. It is every bit as good as the old one. It just needs the firmware upgraded, and that's a super easy fix. And then we'll have flip over after crash, which is the only thing I miss. I love how durable this is. I'm going to smash it around. That's what I do. That's how I fly. I'm going to bang into lots of stuff, including myself. And I didn't get hurt, and I didn't break anything. I didn't break anything out there, or I didn't break anything on here. This is great. I expect this to be my tiny whoop of the year. I do have a number of other real tiny whoops. Like, here's a comparison. I mean, it's significantly bigger than a tiny whoop, but it's small enough to fly inside, and that's what's important to me. It's probably going to be my new favorite inside flyer. There are a couple of other options. The Tiny Hawk, we'll see how that compares, but really, LDARC has been way better and way more consistent to me than anything Emax has made. Emax should be great. It's great for everybody else. LDARC has just been, or King Kong and LDARC have just been way more consistently great for me over time. Every model just works. It does exactly what they say it'll do, and I don't think I've ever had anything burn out. I don't think I've ever had any problems, and I beat the heck out of them. So this will get my ringing endorsement. But if you found this useful, leave a like and a comment down below. So we're going to do the firmware upgrade. Do you want to see it fly on Futaba? Does anybody out there fly fast and care? So until next time, remember, now that I've actually tested this, this will let me have an indoor flyer to test a whole bunch of other hardware, like what's the best goggle receiver for flying inside your house.